Welcome to Friendly Chat with Farzin. My name is Farzin Mazinani, and in this series, I want to share my thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and many other things with you, my friend. And I consider you as part of me. So basically, I am talking to myself. Why am I saying this? It goes back to an experience that I had about 30 years ago, when I trapped myself in a room to find the answer to essential questions that I had about life. So I started my quest when I was 12 years old. I had some big questions. What is the meaning of life? Where I'm coming from? Where I'm going? And what is the purpose of all the things that I see around me? So I had those big questions and nobody could give me the answer. Teachers, parents, friends, they would just turn their head and they would say, just go and play. Why are you just concerned about these things? But something inside me wanted to know the answer. So it set a quest for me to become a seeker. So I went through book to book, from path to path, and after 12 years of research and going from different paths to another, what happened was I'm sitting at home with thousands of books in my personal library and 20 different paths that I went through, and I'm still not getting whatever I was looking for. So I was frustrated. And that frustration led me to make that radical decision. So what was that decision? I said, I'm going to go and trap myself in a room. And I'm not going to get out of that room until I get the answer. So I said, I'm just going to leave all the distractions out. So I went to a room and closed the door and turned the light off. And now I'm facing myself. And I knew a lot of techniques, meditation, breathing, whatever you name it, different things through all those years that I was practicing different paths. So I started doing those spiritual exercises, other things that I knew at the time. So I started doing those, but after a while, I got tired. And after a while, actually, you don't know if it's a day or night or how many days has passed, because you are sitting in a dark place. And you're sitting in absolute darkness and absolute silence. The door was closed. There was no window. So what happened was that I got frustrated again. Nothing was working. And I had my own tests to know when I reached that point, because I knew that by the time that I reached that point, I'm going to be able to control my mind, not mind controlling me. So I had my measures, I had my tests. So going up and down through different things, and I failed the tests again and again. At one moment, I gave up. I said, I'm just sitting here. I don't know what else to do. So what happened was, all of a sudden, I felt there is a heat that was coming from inside. It was actually inside my heart. And I started feeling that heat is distributing throughout all my body. All the cells are getting warmed up and boiling to the level that it was like an ash. There was nothing left inside. On the outside, what was happening was I was sweating badly and I was shaking. And all of a sudden, in the middle of darkness, there was lights and there was music. And it was coming from inside, not outside. So what happened was, in that moment, I received all the answers to my questions. How is it possible? So I'm going to give you an example. Imagine that you have a piece of ice in your hand, and then you go by the ocean, and you throw that ice into the ocean. That piece of ice is floating on the ocean, and it starts to melt. When the last piece of that ice is melting, all of a sudden there is no ice anymore. It's all ocean. That was my feeling. I felt that there is nothing left of me, and I'm connected to everything and everyone. That is why I call you, my friend, part of me. We are not separated. I found out that separation is illusion. So I got all the answers to my questions. And I get out of that room. When I came out, I noticed that it was about close to 5 days that I was inside there. So in this series, I'm going to share what I discovered in that room and after until now. And whatever I discover on a daily basis, I would have a platform to share. We are all connected, remember? So I'm just sharing it with myself, basically. And then if there is something that you want to just add into it, or something that you want to discuss a little bit more, the comments are open. So you can just write down whatever you want, and then we can communicate with each other and elevate each other. Because that is why we are here for, to help each other to grow and expand. More on that later. Without you, who are part of me, we cannot do it alone. So we are in it together. Thank you.